And this is an invitation to go deeper, because if you don't, you suffer unnecessarily. Millions are in a state of fear and anxiety. But use this as an opportunity to either awaken out of the mind-identified state of consciousness that continuously projects itself into the future, that you have no control over. It is never present. This mind-identified state of consciousness, that's the house built on the sand. Or it's an opportunity to come to this realization that you are much deeper than you had known before. You are forced to go deeper because you can't stand the suffering anymore, the unhappiness or whatever you want to call it, the anxiety. And so the most vital thing in any situation is the state of consciousness with which you meet the situation. And you should pay more attention to that than to the newscasts and whatever it is that you listen to and watch. Yes, you can do that also. But what is your state of consciousness? That's something you can do something about. There's not very much that you can do about the external situation. You can take precautions. You can help other people to the extent to which it is possible. All that's good. You do all the things that you need to do. And perhaps many people are now forced to stay at home, and suddenly you have to be suddenly on a private retreat at home. Now that's an opportunity too. So use this precious time that is here, because it is part of the awakening consciousness of humanity. It seems almost paradoxical to say that something that on the surface looks very negative and looks like an obstacle to the well-being of humanity, and yes, it's an obstacle to the well-being of humanity on a purely physical level, perhaps temporarily, yes. But something that looks like an obstacle from a conventional point of view is actually an opportunity for you to awaken to a deeper, or you could say higher, level of consciousness. Humans don't awaken when they're in their comfort zone. They awaken when they are taken out of their comfort zone. Not everybody does. It's an opportunity. If you do not awaken when you're no longer in your comfort zone, you suffer. You're unhappy, you're anxious, you're fearful. You haven't found the rock. Now, the difference between this parable and actual life is, in this parable, the man had already dug deep and he had already built his house on the rock, and then the floods came and so on, and the house was unshakable. In real life, often it is the case that the wind, the floods, the rains, that all beating against the house, which means adversity arising in your life, the adversity forces you, if you haven't already gone deeper, it forces you to go deeper. And so it's not too late to start digging now in the face of adversity. Many of you are already in the process of awakening. Probably most of you listening to this. And what's happening to us now is a wonderful opportunity for you to go deeper, a deepening of that, an acceleration of the awakening. So as much as possible, especially whenever you feel yourself drifting off into a fearful state of consciousness and a fearful emotional state, whenever you realize that in this present moment there's nothing to fear, and you have to verify this for yourself, whether this is true or not. When you fear something, it's of some imagined future moment. Am I going to catch this disease? Am I going to die? Is a loved one going to catch it? Is a loved one, my child, my parent, are they going to die? You imagine it, it could happen. But right now it's not happening. So whenever you feel yourself drifting off into fear, realize, okay, I have lost the present moment. And I lost myself in my mind, in the thinking mind. And then the emotion reflects that mind activity. So the moment you notice it, okay, I've lost the present moment, I am lost in the mind, come back into the present moment. A few little things are helpful. Be aware of your breathing. Be aware of the inner energy field in your body. The body is alive. This energy, this life energy that pervades the body, you feel that. You're breathing, you feel the aliveness in the body. You're aware of sense perceptions, you look around, you're present. And then you become aware of that presence that is inseparable from who you are. That presence that is inseparable from who you are. That's an amazing realization. There's more to you than the person. That presence is deeper than the person. And you needed the adversity either to find it or to deepen that which you had already found it, but it was not yet a deep realization. So, this is a time of great opportunity. Use it. Don't waste it. There's a saying that goes, when the ego weeps for what it has lost, the spirit rejoices for what it has found. So what looks bad on the surface has an essential function. I will speak to you again soon. In the meantime, be here, be present. Don't lose yourself in the mind. Don't lose yourself in fear. Find and be rooted in this rock that is your essence identity.